Coming up on today's show, we take a look at the progress of the new Hospitality and Tourism Center in Niagara Falls, find out what NCCC had to offer at the recent holiday market, and we meet and greet Lieutenant Governor Robert Duffy. Stay tuned.
Considering college? Then be smart. Start at Niagara County Community College. Visit our website and find out why NCCC is the smart place to start.
If you remember the original Rainbow Mall, it is definitely no more. Demolition has continued on some of the most memorable parts. The upper floors as well as skylights have recently come out, making way for the latest and greatest coming soon from Niagara County Community College. Construction is expected to begin in early 2012. NCCC recently played host to two members of the SUNY Board of Trustees. Trustee Eunice Lewin's visit to campus included tours through student housing, the Child Development Center, and our art facilities, among other places. She was most impressed with the work she observed in the campus pottery lab. H. Carl McCall, the newly appointed chair of the SUNY Board, also visited the NCCC campus in recent months. Following discussions with President Kleisik, several members of the NCCC Board, and Faculty Senate President Tim Veters, he also toured the campus, checking out the science and nursing labs, in addition to other parts of the campus. Local poet Ken Felches was invited to the campus in December. He shared several pieces of his work with a full audience.
When children draw, their fingers dance. Lopsided hearts and crooked circles shout off the paper, tumbling past unfair borders. There are no rules. Blue trees, green skies, raindrops big as marbles. And their Crayola masterpieces get scotch taped to refrigerators in a million kitchen art museums. Later, with training, their fingers will be fixed. Straighter hearts, corrected colors, careful circles. But for now, before things change, their souls are freckled with freedom. And like giggling gods, the children create a jumbled birth of colors and shapes as purple-haired mothers and orange-faced fathers hug them forever with matchstick arms.
At the end of 2011, many fun things were held at the college. For Thanksgiving, the students were treated to a president's lunch, offering all the famous Thanksgiving delights. Later in December, children from the campus daycare as well as from the community were invited to our annual Christmas party. The party is put on by the Office of Student Activities. Children get to watch a movie, listen to stories presented by our students, and also enjoy a visit from jolly old St. Nick. Santa appears, and then he and Mrs. Claus meet and greet the children in attendance. In an effort to stay in the holiday spirit, the Student Activities Office also offered students the opportunity to customize a snow globe with their own picture. NCCC had a strong presence at the first annual Niagara Holiday Market in Niagara Falls this year. The college ran Claus & Company for 4 weekends leading into Christmas. The highlight of the event was Santa's Workshop, a 26-foot gingerbread house constructed by the NCCC Baking and Pastry Arts faculty and students.
The college got involved with the holiday market last summer through sponsorship. And we thought that it would be very interesting to sponsor Santa's Workshop, and as part of Santa's Workshop, build a gingerbread house or display that would act as the backdrop for Santa. We discussed this with our pastry arts instructors and students, and they really were excited and jumped on board. And so we started in the planning stages for what the gingerbread house would look like. After some preliminary designs, we determined it would take about 700 pounds of gingerbread, 100 pounds of icing, 40 or 50 pounds of candy to construct it. And it was really a joint effort between our public relations department, facilities management, and the academic programs. The students rolled and baked all the gingerbread on campus, And we dried it out for a few days, transported it down here, and actually drywall screwed it to a wooden structure, and then decorated it with some royal icing and candy. And it really was a joint effort. It was probably about 40 hours of assembly between the instructors and the students, and it was really fun. And this is kind of a preliminary run for next year when the Culinary Institute will be open downtown, and we go to a bigger and better gingerbread holiday display. The students were a little bit non-believers at first. They didn't think we'd be able to do this and drywall screw it, and they thought it would break and be too brittle. And then once they saw it going up, they really bought into it and really jumped in and enjoyed it. The children really love it. They can't believe that it's a real gingerbread house, and so they come up to it and they want to touch it and smell it and things of that nature. But it's been a nice surprise actually for people as they come in, because they expect to see Santa, but not this kind of large gingerbread house behind him.
Another feature of the holiday market was the ice carving competition, which was coordinated by NCCC instructors Mark Mistriner and John Matwico. The duo created the signature pieces on the day, while 4 carvers competed for the trophy of ice carving champ.
Setting up for ice carving competition, you have to physically be in good condition, and also you got to have the right tools, from chainsaws to die grinders to chisels, make sure everything's sharp. Also have those prepared, and also have an idea of what you want to do for the ice, as far as prepare the ice and carve the ice, where you're carving. We got a couple pieces over here that are 3-dimensional. We have some that are symmetrical, like the snowflake. And you got to have a game plan and an outline of what you want to do. So it's mentally demanding and physically demanding. People enjoy it because it's like I said, it's physically and mentally demanding. So it's not like a big craft. In our area, there are a couple people that have businesses. It gives everybody an opportunity to maybe that don't have businesses that want to like hone their craft, to work directly with people that have businesses or have more skill level. Helps everybody to progress their skills, but it also helps the community to come out and notice, like, you know, the people's skills and enjoy the ice, because they don't have the opportunity to do it. So it gives them an opportunity to check things out and see what it's all about, because it's not like a thing that's all over the place all the time. It's, you know, occasionally you'll see some ice carving competitions, but it draws people outside into the winter fests in different areas, so it gets people outside.
Hundreds of people passed through NCCC's doors and were delighted by all we had to offer. The faculty and students are already planning for next year. New York State Lieutenant Governor Robert Duffy paid a visit to the Niagara Holiday Market just before Christmas, and he spent some time talking with the NCCC Baking and Pastry Arts students. The students were on hand with NCCC President James Kleizek and instructors Mark Mistriner and John French to thank the Lieutenant Governor for the recent announcements of $2 million in funding toward the construction of the Niagara Falls Culinary Institute. They presented Mr. Duffy with a chef's coat embroidered with his name as a token of their appreciation. The theater department was busy with a performance of Little Shop of Horrors, a full undertaking by the staff and students.
He's got his facts all straight,
just so my conscience will rest easy.
You know he's on your train.
If you don't, I'll go myself.
He's gonna turn you in.
So will you come?
They're gonna put you in jail.
Okay.
He's got the goods.
Damn, I forgot my keys.
All set for supper time. Come on, think about all those offers. Come on, your future with Audrey. Come on, ain't no time to turn squeamish. Come on, I swear on all of my spores, when he's gone, the world will be yours.
Okay, Seymour, let's go.
Don't you want to collect the day's receipts so you can deposit them in the morning?
Put them in the safe, didn't you?
No.
Why not?
I forgot the combination.
That's thousands of dollars, Seymour. Where is it?
In the plant.
In the plant?
I thought that'd be the safest place. No thief would ever look in there, right?
The money's in the plant. Well, how am I supposed to get it?
Just knock.
I don't see anything, Seymour. This doesn't make any sense. How could you forget the combination? That's thousands of dollars. I don't see it. Whoa! Seymour!
The Townsend Dance Group also had their annual fall concert.
It's time to do the Christmas cake, and if you can't dance, well, that's okay.
Not going to do the kick line.
All you need is a tree, some lights, about 1,000 presents, wrap them up and pray for snow. Run to your closet, find your Christmas sweater, screaming carols all the way. Maine, all the way to California, it's the Christmas cake and Halloween to Christmas Day. It's the most wonderful time of year, we're running mad with Christmas cheer.
Hey, what's troubling you, my friend?
It's not fair if you're Jewish.
Not fair if you're Jewish. Dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay.
You realize that Christmas ain't the only holiday.
Hey, he's right, who made these laws? Look, wait, here comes Santa Claus. Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus. Santa, 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 Santa.
Considering college? Then be smart. Start at Niagara County Community College. Visit our website and find out why NCCC is the smart place to start.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Niagara County Community College. I'm Mark Mistriner, Coordinator of Culinary Arts, along with one of our students, Amanda Vizcarra, of Vizcarra Vineyards and Becker Farms. Well, Amanda, the holidays are over. I know for me, I ate way too much. I'm not sure what happened with you, but I know in my family, it's all we did was eat and have way too many desserts.
Oh, definitely.
So today I want to talk to you at home about a New Year's resolution that many of us always make in terms of trying to eat a little healthier, cutting back on the carbs or a little bit on the fat and things of that nature. So Amanda and I put together a little meal, a first course, a second course, and a dessert that hopefully will help you along the way to your New Year's resolution. First course, we have a cream of broccoli soup, anti-cream. We have a poached salmon salad with a little vinaigrette. And over here for dessert, nice like angel fruit cake with some fresh fruit and some berries. But the first course is a cream of broccoli soup, and I guess creamless broccoli soup. So Amanda, can you kind of take us through what we have here?
Absolutely. Thanks, Chef Mark. Our cream of broccoli soup, you start just like any other cream soup by sauteing some broccoli and some onions.
Okay.
With some canola oil to keep kind of the fat content down. Then you add some flour, equal parts flour to fat.
Okay.
And then you can hit it with chicken stock instead of cream, and that'll kind of keep the fat down again as well. Now, that will also start to thicken the broth, so to say, and then you would just keep cooking that until you kind of get the flour taste down so that it's nice and smooth.
Excellent, excellent. So you cook out the flour taste because obviously flour is, a little bland. It's going to cook out probably 45 minutes to an hour. Now, you could add a little cream to it at the end, still keeping the fat content down, couldn't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And of course that fat's going to make it taste a little more richer as well.
Yeah, fat is flavor, as we say in the kitchen. Could you do this with any other thing besides broccoli soup?
Oh yeah, cream of carrot, cream of cauliflower, really any kind of cream soup can be done in this way.
Excellent, excellent, very good. And without the fat in there, the cream or the milk, you can make this, cool it down and freeze it, defrost it and reheat it when available. You can't do that if there's any cream or milk in it, which is a nice little tip.
Absolutely.
For a lunch or a main course for dinner, we put together a little poached salmon salad with some mixed greens, and we just took some spring mix, again, available at any supermarket, with a nice fruit flavored vinaigrette. And Amanda, tell us a little bit about how we put the salmon together.
Sure. First we poach the salmon, and for those of you that aren't familiar with that cooking method, it's really pretty easy and it's a really nice healthy way to cook meats. Particularly with the salmon, you're going to want to use a cooking liquid. You can use broth, or you can use, what else?
Oh, you can use some water with some lemon in it, some bay leaves, some peppercorns, just some different aromatics that will help flavor that seafood.
Absolutely. So you're going to get that cooking liquid to about 170 or 180 degrees, or what most people like to say, right before it starts to boil, just start to steam.
Good tip.
And then what I like to do is turn the heat off,
okay,
put my fish in, and just let it sit there. We don't want it to boil. Let it sit there for about 6 or 7 minutes until it starts to become tender.
Great idea. Besides salmon, everyone at home, you can poach shrimp, you can poach scallops, you can do any type of meat with that. I'm going to top it off with the little raspberry vinaigrette that we made. That sounds great. Amanda, we can use other things besides raspberry, I would imagine, correct?
Absolutely, you can use strawberries. Now with this vinaigrette that we made here, you can make that at home by using 2-to-1 ratio vinegar to oil. You can use canola oil or you can use olive oil as well. And then you can flavor it with some puree of raspberry or strawberry as well. And of course, you can also find that in a supermarket if you don't want to make your own.
I like that idea the best. Over here we have a nice light dessert to top the meal off. You still want something a little sweet, but using sweetness of the fresh berries. Pre-made angel food cake, like Amanda said, getting at the supermarket works out really well. I just put together some blackberry, blueberry, and raspberry. And, okay, just spoon a little bit on top. Okay, and I'm gonna put a little bit in front, decorate the plate up a little bit like that. There we go. And then we have a nice fresh fruit dessert. Amanda, I know this goes against everything we teach in the classroom, using fruits that are out of season in January. Any ideas? You know, I know you guys have the farm at Becker Farm, so I'm sure you have a couple tips on what we can use there.
Absolutely, and the trend you know now is sourcing locally. So what you could use instead of those berries are nice cooked down apples or pears, add a little cinnamon sugar, warm it up a little bit, and put that right on top of that angel food cake. Now of course you can use the berries as well. If you picked them and frozen, you can use it as a berry topping if you still want to go with that local theme.
Excellent idea, excellent idea. I think all great things, all nice and light. You know, I'm not sure your New Year's resolution, I'm not going to tell you what mine is. But we all usually, you know, even if it's not New Year's, in any time of the year you want to start eating a little healthy and a little bit lighter, there are definitely some things you can use. Canola oil, safflower oil, olive oil, some of the better oils for you to use. Instead of using cream, use some different stocks, chicken stock, vegetable stock. Purchase them at the store, 99% fat-free. A salad, carb-free, works very well for you. And again, it's good for you, it's nice and healthy. So from Amanda and myself, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in today, and hopefully you took some nice tips out of this for eating better and living better. Thank you.
If you're a current student, prospective student, or just have to visit NCCC in Sanborn for any reason, you'll notice we're even more accessible. As of late 2011, a new road, open to the public, was put in place, which allows access to the rear parking lots as well as the student housing right from Saunders Settlement, Route 31.
I'm John Strong with another Thunder Wolves Wellness Moment. I've brought my friend Brendan Burns, past member of our student community here at Niagara County Community College. We're here today to dispel some myths about how you activate. I'm glad a lot of you out there are getting active, and I want to make sure that you do it right. So the first thing we're going to look at is one of the most common exercise that many of you are participating in, and that's going to be the sit-up. You ready to do some sit-ups? All right, go ahead and lie down for me, please, Brent. Go ahead and give me 3 sit-ups that we see a lot of folks doing. Ooh, boy. Yeah, there they go. Yes, sir. And hold that one right up there for me. All right, so I want to take a look at a few things that are troubling to me in this particular example. The first thing I want you to realize is that Brendan has his fingers laced behind his head. If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer you never do that again for the rest of your life. Brendan, do me a favor and slide your fingers down to your temples. Great, love them right there. You can pick this site, or you can also choose across your chest. Another thing that I'm really not crazy about here is where Brendan ends up at the end of his sit-up. He's all the way up here. Are you comfortable up here, sir?
No.
No, you're not comfortable up here? You could sit up here for a long time though, couldn't you? You could. I mean, it's not comfortable, but you could stay there. This is called a rest point. And the trouble with a traditional sit-up is that it has 2 rest points. There's this point up here, and then we roll all the way back down, and he lies down on the floor. And there's this point right here. 2 rest points. These are problematic to me. So what I want to do in a crunch is eliminate these 2 rest points. Another thing that I have a problem with are Brendan's feet being locked on the floor. What I would prefer is to bring these knees up here so they create a 90-degree angle with the hip. Bring these shins up here so they create a 90-degree angle at the knee. Now I have a scenario within which Brendan has to strengthen or tighten his core in order to hold this position. Now Brendan could sit up there before for a long time, right? But it's actually hard to sit like this for a long time. So we're already working. Another thing I want you to consider is as we come up, bring your chin towards the ceiling. You saw earlier that Brendan's chin was down in his chest. I don't want you to do that because now you're going to get neck strain. Rather, what I want you to do is relax. We're going to bring Brendan's chin up towards the ceiling. See how he looks towards the ceiling? And he just crunches here. I got a nice compact motion. Go ahead, give me 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. Lovely. And relax on the ground. You see the difference? Go ahead, relax. You see the difference between now that Brendan is relaxed and before when he was moving? There was never any shoulder contact in his movement. One more time, show it to the folks at home. And we got a small little motion here. It's a little 3-4 inch motion. We come down another 3-4 inches and we come right back up. Crunch and again, crunch. And look, here's my hand. He never touches my hand. You see that? So he's never resting. There's no rest point at the bottom. There's no rest point at the top. And we're working or activating the core as we keep those feet in the air. So this is a really nice motion that's going to get you the results that you want without causing injury. Another thing I want you to consider, you can go ahead and sit up for me, Brent. You ever notice how when people talk about getting tight, they talk about getting tight abs, right? It's not they want the tight core, they want the tight abs. Well, if we think about core structure, it actually encircles the whole body from the lower legs up through the shoulders. That's actually the core, and that's what people don't realize. Consider then, if I'm going to work the abs, consider the opposite part of the body. Go ahead and spin over right in front for me here. I've got a whole mass of musculature on the other side of the body, right? I have to consider this back musculature. An exercise I want you to consider is a very simple exercise. We'll call it Superman's. Maybe it'll inspire you to be a Superman or woman, okay? Go ahead and raise up those feet and put them back down, and raise up those arms and put them back down, and we can do these things together. All right, let's bring them both up at the same time and back down. You see how he holds it at the top? He doesn't just pulse up and then come back down. He's gonna come up, hold, come on up, Bren, hold, 1, 2, go down, and come on up, hold, 1, 2, and go down, okay? So this is gonna contract all our musculature in the back, and it's gonna allow us to think more core than just abs, okay? Another exercise that a lot of folks out there have problems with is the push-up, all right? You understand how to do the regular push-up, how folks do the push-up, right, Brent? Give me some of these push-ups that we've seen some folks doing. We got the booty up in the air. We got the body turned this way and that way. The head sometimes gets itself out of alignment, right? We look up and we wait for God to help us out, okay? What I want you to do instead is I want a consistent line from the shoulders straight down to the heels. I want a nice tight core. I want your hands far enough apart so that as you come down, you create a 90-degree angle right here in the elbow angle. We're gonna push down, push up. We're gonna exhale up, inhale down, exhale up, inhale down. And that's a nice, perfect push-up without the perfect push-up. Do you really think you need these? Pretty sure you don't. All you need is what you're gonna give to your workout, and that's effort. I'm John Strong. My guest, Brendan Burns. This was another Thunder Wolves Wellness Moment. See you next time.
The winery operations degree program started in 2009, and probably around 6 months, maybe 8 months later, Freedom Run came forward and offered up some land to put some grapes in and start a little private-public partnership, which is a great thing to do for our students. Started the land and cultivating it for us and planting of the grapes. And that brings us probably around 18 months later to this point now. And we're probably about 1.5 years away from the grapes being ready to produce wine that can be bottled. Grapes tend to take about 3 years before they're mature enough to harvest and again crush, ferment, and produce a bottled wine. In terms of the land that we have a little under an acre of land, but we have 150 Chardonnay white grapes growing, 150 red Merlot grapes growing that the students do, again, manage and tend everything from the dormant season, which is the winter time, doing just some pruning back, through growth, through harvest, crushing, fermenting, and do some barrel tasting as well. The response from students has been fantastic. They love the industry professionals we're having teach the course. They love being at the vineyard, doing all aspects, everything, again, from crushing and fermenting, doing some barrel tasting. It's been a real popular program and growing at a steady pace.
We have 3 different tasting courses that we're going to be doing. A basic sensory evaluations course, and then an Old World, New World course, a more advanced wines only course. And then a food and wine pairing course. And most of the tasting classes occur here. We also do a winery operations program. That's the more advanced winemaking program. Our basic 101 course is the viticulture and vinification class. Most of the courses, at least the ones that I teach, have both a lecture and a lab component. So all of the lecture courses are taught on the college campus, so that we have all of the audio-visual aids that we can use on the campus, and then all of the lab courses happen here. So with the tasting courses, the labs are the actual tasting component. You know, we do our lecture classes, learn about the regions and or the grapes that we're going to be discussing, and then in class there's a lot of tasting that goes on. For the viticulture and winemaking class, and for the winery operations course, and for the wine chemistry courses, we have a lecture component, and then when they come out to the winery, it's all hands-on. So they're actually participating with the harvest, doing vine management, learning about farm equipment, learning about winemaking equipment, and actually getting to use all of those things. And then with the chemistry portion, they're actually doing all of the testing with the fruit and with the developing wine. They're making their own wine projects, running experiments while they're here every week that they have to monitor and get numbers on, and all that sort of thing that they have to keep track of throughout the semester and as the years go on.
One of the activities that we're doing in wine chemistry is when students are done, they want to make wine. I want a better understanding of what this process is, what are the stages in this process as I go from juice to a final consumable wine product. So one of the things that we are doing as part of the program is they're required to make wine. They have to keep a log in that wine, they're testing their pH, they're looking at dissolved oxygen, they're looking at some of the different factors that are needed in order to produce a final product. And then towards the end of the class, each student will identify how they made the wine, maybe 1 or 2 different ratios or different trials that they did, something that they goofed around with a little bit in order to learn more about the process in itself. And then we'll taste the wine to see how it turns out. The fun part about it is sometimes you get the results that you were looking for, and many times you don't. And if we can understand why we don't get the results, to me that's just as important as getting a perfect exponent at the end. If we can identify some of the different factors that are involved in, well, why didn't this turn out the way I expected it to, then we're not going to repeat. If it didn't turn out the way we wanted to, now we know how not to repeat that process.
It's funny because we often will start out with people being very excited, and then when they begin to recognize that 90% of the job is cleaning up and setting up and tearing things down, it becomes less exciting. But there are some students that really get interested in the actual hands-on process and enjoy the fact that we strip away the romance from winemaking and show that it really is farming and it really is hard work and it really is understanding what is chemically going on, and they get a deeper appreciation and they really enjoy getting involved in that end of things. Here in Niagara County right now there are 13 wineries, and unfortunately there's very few people with any winemaking experience or with a lot of wine knowledge in the area. So the wineries are hungry for people to work in the tasting room, to help make wine, to work as cellar masters, as somebody that can come in to do testing for them. There are a lot of opportunities. People that know how to use winemaking equipment are few and far between right around here. Also, there's the whole hospitality aspect. You know, if you know the world of wine, then that opens you up to going on and getting your sommelier diploma and doing restaurant or hotel beverage programs. I mean, you have a great base to use the degree in a lot of different ways. There's also the whole management aspect. You know, in addition to doing the winemaking and the sensory evaluations courses, there are also business courses that are part of the program. Business courses in general and specifically related to the business of running a winery.
This is an area in which we're seeing more development. And as we see more development, if we can prepare students so that they have not just the hands-on skills, but a little bit more the analytical background of how wine is made and why it's made in certain aspects, particularly in the Niagara Frontier, because this is a different soil, a different type of wine production. If we understand that process, then we're going to be successful in getting careers. Not just jobs, but careers in the wine industry.
And those types of things are also things that wineries in the area are looking for. They're looking for people that can deal with the state liquor authority and be able to fill out all of those mounds and mounds of paperwork and do excise taxes and do all of the costing reporting and all of those things that are pretty specific sets of skills.
We tried building the curriculum where it would be multifaceted for the students, so they are not just in a terminal degree that would only put them out to the workforce in one specific area. They can go to a vineyard and assess all the needs of that vineyard and work in any one of those aspects.
There are opportunities all over the country, all over the world, and right here in Western New York. It's the exciting thing about the program is that we're dealing with a growth industry right here in Niagara County. Like I said, there's 13 wineries now and there's a lot more coming down the pipe.
If anyone's interested in finding out some more information about this new and growing program, they can visit the college website or contact me directly at 614-6456.
Thanks for watching another edition of NC3. If you would like to find out more about Niagara County Community College, log on to our website, give us a call, or visit our next open house.